Let's go, you guys. Let's go. Come on, let's go. 3-1 win today against our historic rivals in Leeds. And for me, this was a game in which we absolutely dominated. It didn't exactly feel like we dominated though, even though our XG at the end of that game was set at 4.35 compared to 0.97 from Leeds. This is some ridiculous domination in stats, especially in this category. Yet, as I'm saying all of this, it did not feel exactly like this was perfect domination. Now, Leeds, credit to them, they put up a massive fight, especially in that second half. This was a very man-to-man game. And as we all kind of expected before this game started, this game was going to be determined by the individual class of the players on the field. And of course, when you're pressing in a manner like this and playing up against opponents like us, then of course, you need to make sure that you're coming correct. You need to make sure that you're playing with that quality and that ability too, and you need to make sure that you're taking your chances as well. Leeds came close to some of these aspects, but collectively, as an entire game, we were just too hot to handle. It was simply that, and even though we saw terrible misses, in particular from Timo Werner today, and I'm going to speak about them later on in this match review, for me, this game was a clear sign that we can potentially mount a title challenge for this season. This game was that typical game in which you have to win if you want to prove to anyone that you have it in you to go after the title. Leeds were difficult. They were dogged, they were tenacious, they were rough, and we still went toe to toe. We were able to consistently break them down. We were able to evade their press. We were able to go man v man against them too, and we came out on top. So for me, tonight was a great win. And today's match for you guys, I'm going to break down the goals. I'm going to break down the key moments. I'm going to break down players that stood out in particular as well. If you're happy with the win, if you're happy that fans were able to attend the game tonight, then make sure you guys smash the like button. I want to get over 2,000 likes for today's video. Now to start with the game, we start with the lineup, and I think we all expected to see the 4-3-3 with many familiar faces in the team. In came the traditional back line that's been so good at keeping the clean sheets this season. We saw the midfield through of Kai Havertz, Mason Mount and N'Golo Kante, and up front we saw Giroud keep his place in the team after that ridiculous quadruple versus Sevilla, alongside Timo Werner and alongside Hakim Ziyech as well. So, from the get-go, we were here to prove a point, and of course, this was the first time for many of these players to play at home in front of the Stamford Bridge faithful. So, I felt like from the first minute, the team were ready to play for the fans, really show them what to expect for this season. From the first minute, we saw some excellent passages of play, and throughout this entire game, we saw this quality and this class too. So, when Leeds got that first goal, it did feel like it came against the run of play, even though it came so early, and maybe we got punished for being, a bit too forceful with our play. Instead of just easing ourselves into the game, we went straight at it from the get-go, and to be honest, it felt like, Leeds capitalized from that moment. Now, of course, credit to them, that was an excellent counter-attacking goal. The run from Bamford, the passes that even created the opportunity in the first place. But with this team right now, you just feel like, okay, we're 1-0 down. It's time for the players to step up now, get serious, and turn this game back into our favor. And for the first time in a very long time, I feel like even if we go a goal down, we are bound to score goals as well. And to be honest, I was in no doubt that we were destined to get this win at the end of the night. After that Bamford goal, we had to wait a tiny bit to get ourselves back in the game. Now, I think now's the best time to speak about Timo Werner and that ridiculous miss from the set piece. Now, just his luck at this point in time that he didn't connect properly with the effort in front of goal, and then when he attempted that little bicycle kick to force it into the net, it didn't come off in his favour. It's not the first time now we're seeing these misses from Werner, and to be honest, if you're someone that has followed his career, we know that Werner has these misses in him. But what separates him from players like your Maratas, your Torres, and other strikers that we signed over the years that weren't able to fulfill their, their potential, is that Werner, his confidence does not get affected. We saw one of the biggest L's of a miss this season. Did that affect his game though? Did that make him play within himself? Did that stop him making those same runs? Did that stop him taking shots on goal? Did that stop him being in those areas to take responsibility when the team needed it? No. And I was happy for him in particular that he played the part to get us that third goal in the end. Pure persistence, pure determination, and pure ambition. I think that's Timo Werner. That's the type of characteristics that's made him the striker he is. And again, he is going to miss opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. But we have to remember, irrespective of the price tag, that we never signed the finished article. But look at Timo Werner now. Look at his game. Imagine him in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, when he's 26, 27 years old, when he's fully in his prime. A player who has excellent timing and deliveries inside the box, ridiculous acceleration, ridiculous pace, ridiculous powerful shots as well, and, great movement in behinds. World-class movement in behinds. His technical aspects are going to get better over time, and for me, Werner is really an excellent player. Even though he missed so many opportunities to get a goal in this game, and, to end this point, I have to keep it real because I have to keep it consistent. I like things to be fair and equal for everyone. That's my philosophy in life, and for me, the fact that Tammy Abraham's been getting major criticism from missing opportunities that, if you were to see their XG value, are so hard compared to some of the opportunities that Drew had in this game himself and that Werner's had over how many games. So the way that we selectively scapegoat some of our players, for me, it just doesn't sit right. But to move on, because this is a positive match review after a very positive result, we had one massive L in the game today, and that was Hakim Ziyech going off with an injury. Now, of course, in Hakim Ziyech's style, before he goes off, he played that key involvement to set up Reece James down the right-hand side for Reece to put in his customary lot of different crosses inside the box to finally Vidgeru to make it 1-1. And after that, he had to come off, and I'm really hoping that, hopefully this is a bit of a precaution, that it's not going to be too serious, because during this very congested period, we really need to have a player like Hakim Ziyech playing. I really feel that, but at the same time, this is also an opportunity for your Pulisics, your Hudson-Odois and other players to try to cement themselves in this team even more. So let's see what happens. Let's see how certain players are going to react from Ziyech being injured. And then going into the second half, we maintained our game. Now, what we did to really just push that intensity even more was Lampard told Kante to push up and, have that license to go forwards. That made a ton of sense. I mean, throughout large portions of this game, Leeds were okay with just camping in their own half and, obviously keeping their blocks low, keeping tactically solid, etc, etc. So having Kante and, his ability to play further forward, because Kante is a complete midfield player that can play many different roles and many different positions. Having him playing higher up and closer to goal meant that we had an extra man going forward, and it was no surprise that Kante had a key involvement for the goal that made it 2-1, and that goal came courtesy of Kurt Zouma. Now, I do have to say, the crosses that Mason Mount has been playing all season, of course, Reece James steals the limelight, Hakim Ziyech does as well, but we also have this ability in Mason Mount. Look at the dip. Look at the swerve, look at the accuracy, look at the consistency. He's been excellent at this, and the stats showed after the game he played 7 key passes. I've been saying for a long time Mason Mount is creative, and now that he's playing a lot deeper, people are really seeing what he's about. But another player that deserves so much praise too is Kurt Zouma, because I tweeted this earlier, and this is something that us as a fan base have been debating about and speaking about for a while, was that one, Zouma masters certain aspects in his game. This guy, for me, can become and is a world-class defender. I know that people use his ball-playing abilities against him, but for me, when did you have to be complete in every single aspect of your game to be seen as world-class? Because we know that that's not the case, especially in defenders. Players like Vidic, for example, was he known for his ball-playing ability, but at the same time, are you going to say that he wasn't a world-class central defender? Of course not. With Kurt Zouma, that's another goal, and the stats are starting to prove that he does everything to a very high level. So it's starting to feel like maybe we have to be a bit fair now and start to reconsider how we view Kurt Zouma. Once that second goal came, we were then able to finally control the game to how we wanted to play. And what we did was revert back a bit, we used the mid block, and then we looked to play on the counter attack. And for me, one of the main reasons why probably our XG was so high in this game probably came after this period, because we created so many opportunities on the break, in particular the third and final goal from Timo Werner, but even before that, Werner fashioned many opportunities for himself from the break, and this is what I want to see. When you play in such an intense league like the Premier League, where you have so many games week in, week out, how you manage games is important. You know, players aren't robots. Their stamina levels don't just replenish after one day. It's not a video game, it don't work like that. And I just feel like now that we get the first goal, now that we have players that can dictate the tempo of the game, and we can play a game at great pace and great intensity too, this means that we create the opportunities to just play on the counter attack, reserve some energy, and of course look to play on the break. So you guys, give my conclusion right now, it really does feel like something special is happening this season. I feel like we're winning games now to a level which has been impossible for a few seasons. And this all comes down to Frank Lampard's his plan. The players he signed, the system he's implemented, the tactics he's used, the players that he's brought up from the academy too. It's been his master plan and his master vision. And even though we're seeing these promising signs, we still aren't seeing everything at this point in time. So, as I always say at the end of every review, times are so exciting at this club right now. And there you guys, that was my match review on our 3-1 win against Leeds. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.